1998 Gawad Manlilikha ng Bayan, passed away on April 30, 2015 at 91. She was one of the last to preserve the traditional art of tinalak weaving with abaca fiber. Beginning at 12, Lang Dulay dreamed of opening a school to teach this craft to women. Her Gawad Manlilikha grant allowed her to establish the Manlilikha ng Bayan Center in Lake Cebu, South Cotabato, solidifying her legacy in preserving Tibuli culture. So, Lang Dulay is the recipient of the 1998 Gawad Manlilikha ng Bayan for her textile weaving using a traditional box-chop loom. Lang Dulay was one of the few remaining Tibuli who keep her indigenous community's art of weaving tinalak using a abaca fiber, which given its hair-like quality necessitates delicate handling. She was 12 years old when she began to weave and for a long time had dreamed of establishing one day a school where she would train women in the art of tinalak weaving. Lang Dulay's tinalak weaving was deeply spiritual, with designs inspired by dreams granted by Fudalo, the god of the abaca. The weaving process began with a ritual offering, making each piece a divine artifact. Her designs reflected nature, with colors symbolizing Tibuli warriors' bravery, which is red, the life-giving soil, the color is black, and the purity of abaca, light brown. Lang Dulay's craft exemplified the Tibuli belief in the interconnectedness of labor, the environment, and the divine. Lang Dulay, keeping with the spiritual aspect of her craft, she relied on divine inspiration for her woven designs, which she could access only through dreams. The tradition of tinalak making is in fact both a craft and a spiritual exercise of dream weaving. The production begins with a ritual offering to Fudalo, the god of abaca, who grants the dreams to the weaver. The tinalak effectively becomes a divine artifact. Lang Dulay's inspired designs reflect the richness of her environment, from the clouds to the butterfly and the crocodile. The traditional colors is also very meaningful. Red symbolizes the bravery of Tibuli warriors, while black depicts the soil as source of life. Light brown is the natural color of abaca, which stands for purity and a strong belief in the spirit of abaca. Lang Dulay, dedication to the craft of tinalak weaving is a fascinating reminder of how in the indigenous worldview, labor, the environment, and divine being are metaphorically woven together. And now, we will be tackling about the indigenous beliefs. The sheer pride of indigenous religions necessitates a devoted coverage that some books have attempted to do, according to Harvey 2000. Some examples of these indigenous religions around the world include shamanism and witchcraft. Shamanism, possibly the world's oldest form of religion, involves a central figure in a community whose soul can travel out, also present among various indigenous communities in Asia and Siberia. Witchcraft is of the body during trance and visit other dimensions. The Inuit Eskimo also present among various indigenous people around the world, but witchcraft is not people are during trance and amanic ritual and beliefs, but elements of shamanism, simply a dangerous fit involving evil forces. For some communities such as the Bangwa in Cameroon, witchcraft is like any other ordinary activities such as eating and sleep. It It is part of everyday life to ensure power and success. The belief is that each one has a spirit animal that can be activated to enter the spirit world, in which activities could have a real manifestation in the physical dimension, according to Bowie 2000. Ang indigenous religion ay napakalawak, kaya mayroong mga books na sinubukan itong talakayin ng buo. Some example of indigenous religions around the world ay ang shamanism and witchcraft. Shamanism is the oldest form of religion sa buong mundo. Ito ay tumutukoy sa isang mahalagang tauhan sa isang community na may kakayahang maglakbay ang kaluluwa sa ibang dimensions. While the witchcraft ay isang uri ng ritual na sinasagawa ng katawan ng isang tao habang siya ay nasa trance, kung saan bumibisita siya sa ibang mga dimension. Ang mga Inuit at iba pang indigenous group ay may mga katulad na paniniwala. Ang witchcraft ay isang pangkaraniwang gawain katulad ng pagkain at pagtulog. It is part of everyday life to ensure power and success. In other words, ang mga indigenous religions ay mayroong mga ritual at paniniwala na nag-uugnay sa tao sa mga spiritual mundo. Hindi lahat ng mga ito ay tinuturing na masama. And now we come to the next slide. What we intend to highlight are the similarities that indigenous religion around the world share with one another. We also want to highlight that in many cases, indigenous religions are inspirable from every life of the local people. It would not make sense, for example, to ask indigenous people what their religious affiliation is, since their belief and practices are deeply embedded in their social, cultural, and economic activities. Their religion is, in other words, a taken for granted fact of life. Gusto nilang ipakita na ang mga indigenous religion ay hindi matutukoy ng hiwalay mula sa buhay ng mga tao sa komunidad. For example, sinabi ko kanina na mahirap itanong sa mga katutubong tao kung ano ang relihiyon ang kanilang kinabibilangan, dahil ang kanilang paniniwala at gawain ay malalim na nakatanim sa kanilang mga social, cultural, at economic activities. May iba-iba tayong paniniwala na mas mabuti ay intindihin at respeto. Ang kanilang relihiyon, sa madaling salita, ay isang bagay na itinuturing nilang bahagi ng kanilang pang-araw-araw. Ibig sabihin, para sa kanila, hindi nila iniisip na may hiwalay na relihiyon sila, dahil ang kanilang mga paniniwala ay natural na bahagi ng lahat ng aspeto ng kanilang buhay. As local phenomenon, indigenous religions around the world may not have direct contact with one another, especially when one factors in the historical, cultural, and geographic distance between traditional religions in Africa and in the Pacific Islands. For example, according to Tafjerd 2013. However, we suggest that common denominators exist because their local experiences tie them to fundamental settings such as the environment, livelihood, and kingship, which all inform their spiritualities, according to Barr 2005. An important shared experience, too, is marginalization brought about by either colonization, modernization, or militarization, according to Department of Economic and Social Affairs 2009. Kahit hindi magkakaugnay ang mga relihiyon sa iba't ibang parte ng mundo, may mga pagkakapareho pa rin sila, dahil lahat ng ito ay nahubog ng kanilang kalikasan, pangkabuhayan, at relasyon sa pamilya at komunidad. indigenous religions, nature is a sacred entity which the Creator or divine beings has entrusted to people. Stewardship of nature is therefore a religion duty. So para sa mga indigenous religions, like ituturing nilang sagrado ang kalikasan at ito ay pinagkatiwala sa kanila. Responsibilidad nila na pangalagaan ito. For example, sa mga katutubong Pilipino tulad ng mga Ifugao, ituturing nilang sagrado ang mga bundok at kagubatan. Iniwala silang ang mga espiritu ng kalikasan ay nakatali sa mga lugar na ito. Kaya may mga ritual sila upang ipakita ang paggalang sa kalikasan at hindi nila ito sinisika. The indigenous worldview is kingship-based. This means that the spirits of ancestors figure in religious practice and worship. They are believed to be active in the life of the community. The Cox 2007. This facet is definitive for indigenous religion. Ito ang pananaw na pagkakaunay sa mga espiritu ng mga ninuno, nakabase sa ugnayan sa pamilya at mga ninuno. Sabi nga na mahalaga ang mga espiritu ng mga ninuno sa kanilang mga ritual at paniniwala. At naniniwala silang aktibo ang mga ito sa buhay ng komunidad. Halimbawa, sa mga katutubong Bagogo, may mga ritual kung saan pinagdidiriwang nila ang mga espiritu ng kanilang mga ninuno sa pamamagitan ng mga sayaw at handog upang humingi ng gabay at proteksyon. Next, apart from ancestors, indigenous religions may also relate to spirits of nature, deities, and life forces access to which is the preserve of particular religious officials or ceremonies, according to Harvey 2000. Ito naman ay related sa mga spirits of nature and deities. Bukod sa mga ninuno, may mga espiritu ng kalikasan, mga goddess and goddesses, at mga life forces na mahalaga sa relihiyon ng mga katutubo. Halimbawa, ang mga Aita ng Zambales ay may mga ritual upang magdasal sa mga espiritu ng kalikasan, tulad ng mga espiritu ng mga puno at ilog na nagbibigay ng biyaya at proteksyon sa kanilang pamumuhay. Next, rituals occupy a prominent role among indigenous religions, given that religious life follows a community's genealogy or ancestry. To convert other people is not a mission. Hindi nila layunin gawing makatipuli ang ibang tao, kundi ipagdiwang at protektahan ang kanilang sariling kultura at paniniwala. Para sa kanila, mahalaga talaga ang mga ritual. Ang mga ritual ay may malaking papel sa kanila. Next, many indigenous communities rely on the oral transmission of beliefs and practices. Cosmologies may therefore not be fully current. Ito naman ay pagtanggap ng kaalaman sa pamamagitan ng oral transmission. For example, sa mga katutubong mangyan ng Mindoro, ang kanilang mga kwento tungkol sa mga Diyos at Espiritu ay pinapasa mula sa isang generation to the next generation sa pamamagitan ng pag-awit at pagsalaysay ng mga matandang kwento. Followers of indigenous religion receives divine revelation through direct communication in the form of visions, dream, and spirit possession. Ito ay direct communication na ang mga tagasunod ng releyong katutubo ay nakakatanggap ng mga pahayag mula sa mga god and goddesses or spirits sa pamamagitan ng mga visions, dreams, and spirit possession. For example, ang mga katutubong sambal ay mga shaman sa Babaylan na nakakatanggap ng mga mensahe mula sa spirit. Sa pamamagitan ng mga dreams o mga vision, tinuturing nilang gabay sa kanilang komunidad. Lastly, indigenous religions are primarily inner-worldly in terms of their worldview concerning salvation. Physical and material gains, usually tied to their economic activities, are central to their religious activities. Ito ay ang kanilang paniniwala sa kaligtasan at mundo. Sa mga katutubong Manobo, ang mga ritual ay kadalasan nakatuon sa mga pangangailangan sa araw-araw
tulad ng magandang ani at malusog na kalusugan. Ang kanilang relihiyon ay higit na nakatuon sa mga bagay na makikinabang sila sa kasalukuyan, hindi sa buhay pagkatapos ng kamatayan.
Ang indigenous religion ay nakafocus sa mga aspect ng kalikasan ugnayan sa mga ninuno at mga pangangailangan sa kasalukuyan. Hindi sila naglalayong palaganapin ang kanilang pananampalataya, kundi pinapahalagahan nila ang kanilang mga ritual at tradisyon na ipinasa sa kanila mula sa mga nakaraan. Now we come to the Lumad in the Bangsamoro. Among indigenous peoples around the world, one unfortunate shared facet is the marginalization. Indigenous communities have been sidelined completely and social affairs communities are shrinking, a result without a doubt of colonial enterprises and modernization projects. As they are not fully integrated in the activities of the government and the majority of the population, they are generally impoverished, less educated, and vulnerable to military conflict and evictions of full industries. On a regular basis, the Minority Rights Group International provides in-depth analysis of problems among indigenous communities. One important document from the organization is No Escape from Discrimination. The report enumerates many cases of displacement and discrimination indigenous people experience as a result of conflict, climate change, and systematic eviction. Ang lumad ay mga katutubong tao sa Mindanao, particular sa rehiyon ng Bangsamoro. Sila ay may iba't ibang pangkat etniko tulad ng Manobo, Tiboli, at Bilaan. Ang mga lumad ay nakakaranas ng marginalization, displacement, ito ay ang pagpapalaya simula sa kanilang mga lupa, at diskriminasyon. Ito ay dulot ng mga project ng gobyerno at negosyo. Karaniwan silang mahirap, hindi edukado, at apektado ng mga alitang militar. In the Philippines, indigenous communities have their own issues in spite of the Indigenous Peoples' Rights Act. Indigenous groups, especially their children, are suffering from malnutrition and illiteracy, given that many of them are already poor. The expansion of basic education to include 2 more years in senior high school has placed a heavy burden on them. Nevertheless, there are initiatives to support their education. Dito sa Pilipinas, mayroong mga katutubong komunidad na may mga sariling problema. Kahit na may batas na tinatawag na Indigenous Peoples' Rights Act or IPRA na nagproprotekta sa kanilang mga karapatan, marami pa rin katutubong grupo na lalo na ang mga bata ang dumaranas ng malnutrition at illiteracy, like hindi marunong magbasa at magsulat. Dahil sa kahirapan, nahihirapan din ang mga katutubo sa pagdagdag ng 2 taon sa senior high school na nagpapabigat sa kanilang sitwasyon. But mayroong mga program at initiative na tumutulong upang mapabuti ang edukasyon, tulad ng mga scholarship at mga proyekto para suportahan ang kanilang pag-aaral. Indigenous cultures are not simply a way of life. They are profound testament to humanity's deep connections to the earth and the divine. In preserving their arts, beliefs, and traditions, we are safeguarding the very spirit of nature that sustains us all. That's